must or should integrate the public debt management system with the IFMI system, or the Integrated Financial Management System, again by 31st of May this year, and submit a report to the National Assembly within 15 days after the integration of the two systems. Honorable Speaker, it's become customary for this House to pass policy resolutions for enactment or for implementation by the National Treasury, and most of which they tend to ignore. And I want to tell them, Honorable Speaker, from these policy resolutions, there is reason and need to automate all our systems. And the integration of the IFMI system and the debt management system is critical in ensuring that we have accurate, timely data on our total indebtedness as a country. And at the same time, Honorable Speaker, in that the automation of the debt payment systems from the Consolidated Fund Services, so that at any one particular time, at the touch of a button, any officer in Treasury, at the request of the National Assembly or indeed any other oversight authority, can be able to tell how much has been paid out of our consolidated fund towards debt settlement, how much do we expect to pay in terms of the interest that we are servicing for debt, Honorable Speaker, and all these things will be possible with automation. Honorable Speaker, the third thing that I want to speak to is a question of the single treasury account. And again, I note, Honorable Speaker, the committee has proposed that in order to mitigate the growing risk of domestic debt interest payments and to reduce the tendency of the government borrowing funds held by public entities, the National Treasury should deploy the single treasury account for all MDAs, parastatals, and public funds by 1st of July 2025. Honorable Speaker, allow me to speak to this in relation also to a directive that His Excellency the President gave during the State of the Nation address last year. Because previously, I think former President...
Honorable Kangogo, I will not tire reminding you, I came to this House on 28th March 2013. You and the person speaking now. You can't be between him and the Speaker when he's contributing. You can't be.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Pukosa says Honorable Kangogo is very mobile today. I do not know whether there are cows that have disappeared somewhere in Marakwet East. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, I think during the last parliament, the then President Uhuru Kenyatta, at one point also directed that the National Treasury does actualize the single treasury account, and this never happens. Now it has been done through a resolution of the House that National Treasury has no choice but to actualize the single treasury account. Honorable Speaker, His Excellency the President was saying during the State of the Nation address, directed that by the 30th of April this year, the question of public procurement must be sorted out through e-procurement, and ensuring that e-procurement... of the interruptions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. 1 minute for the interruptions. I was saying that directive by the President has about another 1.5 months to go. The National Treasury must also, in line with the directive by the President, ensure that e-procurement becomes a reality at the end of this first quarter. And by the time the National Treasury is bringing their annual estimates at the 31st or 30th or thereabout of April, they must also report to the House whether they have made the e-procurement a reality, as they report by May 31st on the automation of the IFMI system and the debt management system, Honorable Speaker, and also the single treasury account. Because if there is a place that has become an avenue for corruption, is the question of funds being held by MDAs, ministries, and state agencies going to solicit for bribes, Honorable Speaker, so that they can bank in particular banks. And that is where you find many MDAs, you find them queuing, bank managers queuing in state departments and parastatals. Many parastatals are holding huge amounts of money, Honorable Speaker, in bank accounts, earning small interest. And the same money then is given to government in terms of domestic public debt. There is no reason why we should be borrowing government should be borrowing its own money, and we must ensure that the single National Treasury account becomes a reality, so that even when we borrow money, Honorable Speaker, we are not borrowing our own money. There is absolutely no reason why an MDA should bank in a commercial bank an interest of 4-5%, then we go back as government and borrow the same money from the market at 11-12%, Honorable Speaker. It is not right, and we must ensure it does not happen. And I say this, I hope the Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury, the Honorable John Mbadi, who is a former member of the Budget and Appropriations Committee and a former member of this House, is listening to me, and the PS Kipto. They must actualize the single treasury account. The automation that the House is resolving through these policy resolutions must not just be talk and resolutions here, they must be actualized. And may I remind them, as a